I'm Maddie.
And I'm Julia.
This is my sister.
And this is my sister.
And this is my couch. Welcome to my sister's couch.
Okay. Hey.
Hey.
Oh. I said,
That scared me. Hey, guys. Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Maddie, and I'm going through puberty. Just kidding. My voice does not sound very good today, everybody. If you're listening to this, you might want to take your headphones out, because this is going to be grating to the ear for sure.
Maddie has had a fun weekend.
I have. We're filming this on Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday, by the way. Go Seahawks. Mm-hmm. We'll go Birds, but go Seahawks.
By proxy.
By proxy. Our bird cousins to the north and west.
Have you seen those babies that are, like, trying to name the teams?
No.
And they'll say,
I think I have,
Blue
actually.
Eagles.
Yeah. Yes, go Blue Eagles. Because we have, when you're an Eagles fan, you have cousins.
Purple Ravens as well.
Sure.
Or Purple Eagles.
You have your Baltimore cousins, which,
Yeah.
like, everybody, if you live in Philly, has a cousin who lives in Baltimore. Then you have your Southern cousins, the Falcons. We don't really like them that much. And then we have our, like, Pacific Northwest cousins in the Seahawks. So, anyways, go Birds by proxy. Anyways, yeah, I just had a fun weekend, and apparently I was yapping a lot, and my voice has been coming and going for the past 24 hours, so if it sounds really bad, I apologize. This is the consequences of my own actions. And
It'd be like that.
I have nothing to say for myself. And that is why for to drink today, I have a blue moon, because I was like, anything else might send me into an orbit. And it's hitting the spot. What do you have for to drink?
For to drink, I am having a fine can of sparkling wine.
Cheers!
Cheers!
I will say this is absolutely hitting the spot.
I actually really like this brand. It's the Dark Horse one.
Yeah.
I don't think it's very expensive or nice.
No, but I like it too. I've gotten their reds before.
And I like the can size of champagne. Like, I get stressed with regards to sparkling wine, because once you open it, you, like, have to finish it.
Yeah.
But, like, it's a smaller amount, so you can actually just have, like, a glass or two.
I don't want to drink an entire bottle of Prosecco or champagne by myself, but you have to. And, like,
It's hard.
Sophie's choice. So this week we're doing our 3 segments, and we're going to start with reality. And we're going to be talking about Traitors yet again. And Traitors is almost over, so we'll be pivoting to Survivor after.
Yes.
After Traitors concludes, and Survivor then starts up. So yeah.
And then we're going to be talking about why celebrities fall in love with each other on movie sets.
Yes.
Specifically, like, tying it into the Wuthering Heights premiere and, like, all of the media surrounding it. I think the movie comes out at the end of the week.
Valentine's Day.
Yeah, so I'm excited to watch that, but the press tour has been very interesting.
Very interesting, and it just brought up the topic of, like, why are all of these celebrities seemingly crossing many lines with their co-stars during press tours and during filming and stuff of these movies, and sort of getting into that. So that'll be our Not That Deep soapbox.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into our last segment, which is Bex Rex, and for that one, we're going to be talking about the Olympics. Because that started.
You didn't do
2
it
days
just
ago.
now, but something that I like that you do is you say Olympics. Like, most Americans say Olympics, but you pronounce the O. Is it, like, Canadian? Like, are you... Is it because you talk too many Canadians?
I work with a lot of Canadians.
I bet you they do say Olympics.
Probably.
Like, they probably hit that O.
Yeah, hard O.
Yeah.
So sorry. Olympics.
The Olympics. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know if I'm wrong. The 2026 Olympic
Percy
Games.
Jackson and the Olympians. Anyways, shall we get started with the reality?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's spill the reality.
Okay.
Okay. Julia and I are not fully caught up on Traitors. There is one episode that came out on Thursday that neither of us has seen. But what we last finished on was Lisa's eviction or banishment from the house. And Rob's, I guess, betrayal of his fellow traitors by advocating with Colton to get her eliminated. And Yeah, it was crazy. What are your thoughts?
I have to say something that was brought to my attention that I think is interesting is that because I did not watch his season, but Rob's Love Island season, he had probably the strongest relationship in the house was a bromance with his friend Aaron, who was on Traitors UK,
Oh.
and he won.
Oh.
So
But he was dating a man?
no, I think they were just friends,
Oh.
but like they were like besties coming out of Love Island.
So
and
he knows.
yes, so he's definitely getting inside
Yeah.
tips. Like I feel like he comes across as just like a guy who randomly showed up on the show, like didn't even know what he was signing up for, but like he has like his closest friend has like won the show.
Yeah.
So he knows what he's doing.
The thought occurred to me that he's very good at doing this, at playing the game. And I'm just surprised because in the last couple of seasons of Traitors, there's usually always a like gamer, somebody who is on Survivor, Big Brother, whatever, who has practice lying and manipulating situations and all that stuff. Because I do think it's something that is practiced. Like Suri, like wiped the competition during her season, but it's because she's been on the Survivor Island for like 800 days. Like she
Yeah.
has and Big Brother, she has
very
so much
practiced.
practice. And it's very surprising to me that Rob is doing so well as somebody who has no practice doing this. It's
Yeah.
almost like
Like
it's almost giving me pause of being like, dude, you might be like a psychopath.
yeah,
or something.
like are you okay?
Because he's very good at it, and like that sort of brings me to the point I wanted to mention, which is like I don't. This could be controversial, but like everyone's really mad at him. Like I keep seeing all these edits of him to like The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived by Taylor Swift, and I'm like, guys. But I'm like, that's the point of these games. Like the point is not to stay loyal to your traitors until all three of you merrily make it to the end and
Yeah.
live happily ever after. The point is for you to make it to the end and to do whatever it takes to get there. And like I'm very surprised that people are like really mad at him for doing that because every season of Traitors, maybe they just haven't seen them, but
Yeah.
every season of Traitors, they turn on each other.
Yeah.
Every time. It's unavoidable. If he hadn't done that, it would have painted a red target directly on his own forehead. And
Do you remember the last episode when Suri won and like she betrayed her other fellow traitors, and like they were genuinely so shocked.
and like Ari, who was a faithful, like genuinely was like, yeah, we're both faithfuls. Let's split the money. And it did not feel good to watch.
Cody was a traitor and
Yes.
got voted off by Suri.
Suri, yeah.
And he was crying at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love
and he
Cody.
looked really relieved.
Yeah, he did not enjoy being a traitor.
No.
No. Because his Big Brother strategy was to win a lot of competitions and to be
Get people to
popular
like
in the
him.
house.
Yeah.
He was not a game player.
Yeah.
Like he was not being like
schemer.
strategic scheming with like alliances and stuff like that. He truly got there based on like his season that he won. There was just no doubt that he deserved to win at the end because he had won so many competitions and he
Yeah.
just had like an alliance that he was loyal to the entire time. That's what he did both times he played. And like you can't that's not really traitors.
No. Do you think that you would be good at being a traitor?
No, I think I would be good at traitors as a faithful.
I will say, this show sometimes, I mean, it goes back to my opinion about, I feel like the competition should be higher stakes, similar to the mole competitions where, like, the traitors are, like, working against the faithfuls. I really feel as though they should bring that in because they're, like, they're making guesses based on nothing. It's
Yeah.
based on vibes alone.
It's based on like saying one single thing wrong and then
Or just being unlikable. Like, remember when Michael Rappaport got voted out? Like, they were like, I don't even care if he's
Yeah.
a traitor. Like, I just don't like him and I don't want him here anymore.
Literally. I think Eric said it where Eric was like, if you're a faithful, you're the most chaotic faithful that's ever played this game. So like I don't really care if you're a faithful and you
Yeah.
go home because like he's like, you're just making this so stressful.
Yeah. But they're all, like, so confident that someone is a traitor or not. And it's just,
Yeah.
it's sort of based on nothing.
You know what it's based on? somebody who's like a psychologist or something like that should investigate the like mob mentality effect of traitors, because it's seemingly very easy to turn the tides of the house based on like a single thing. And that's where Colton has played this game horrendously bad, but also like he's been very impactful to the game.
Well, also he knew Lisa. Whatever he was sensing with Lisa was right.
But like he also like was so confident about like many other
That's true.
people, and like many times he swayed the house to vote a certain way, and like it's so easy. I'm like, you guys aren't gonna like question this at all.
Yeah.
Every time you're just gonna be like, I guess, because they're working off nothing.
Yeah. And that's why I feel like the reason the show is entertaining is because these people are professionals at being on reality TV. That when the real person season comes out, like they have to give them something to work on.
Yeah.
Or work off of, because just a group of like 20 normies sitting around being like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They're weird, or like,
Yeah.
I just feel like they're a trait. Like, it's so nothing.
Yeah. What is hilarious to me though is like, because they're voting based on like a single thing.
Yeah.
Is when somebody accidentally misspeaks, and then everyone's like, see, they're clearly a traitor. And it's like, no, they like Portia in the beginning.
Yes.
Like, she genuinely misspoke like many times.
Like, what was wrong?
I was like, girl, what are you saying?
Her tenses were all wrong or
I'm
something.
like, she's panicking. Like, she just multiple times like had Freudian slips.
Yeah.
And like, what was so funny about that is like, she did say that. Ron did expose it. And then everyone was so mad at him for doing that. But I'm like, y'all are voting people out for way less than what he heard, which was multiple times she referring to herself as a traitor.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, like, yeah, why wouldn't you vote someone out? Because that's like the only thing that you're working on.
It's the only thing you have to base your decision on.
Yeah.
But anyways, I'm curious to see how the season wraps up.
I feel like there's no way Rob doesn't.
You think he's gonna win?
Yeah. Because I don't think anyone is like, unless something happened in the last episode that we haven't seen yet, but
yeah,
it doesn't seem like anyone suspects him.
I will say his strategy of like sort of laying low, I don't think he can do anymore. Because, well, one, Candace voted for him. Because I think she could sense the writing on the wall, and she basically said when she flipped it over and it was wrong, and she said like, I am not going to turn against a housewife. So she's like, I just put something random. So like, she was already putting his name in the mix, and like we said, now that they're just evicting people based on one little thing, that could really blow up.
Because someone said it.
Because why did she say that? It puts a target on her, and it puts a target on him. So like, their whole strategy, and his specifically, of laying low is not long for this world, because I think
you're right.
Some shit's about to go down. Mm-hmm. Sweet Mark Ballas still hanging in there.
Every time he talks, I'm like, let him talk.
I know. He posted something. I guess people are saying like he's so boring and he's like not doing anything. And he posted a video like sort of defending himself, being like, guys, like, I can't pick how they edit the show. Like, I was obviously talking.
Yeah. Who's that one guy? I think he's a survivor.
Oh, Steven.
Every time they show him, I'm like,
he was on One Tree Hill.
Oh.
Yeah. So random. But he seems like a nice guy. That's a situation of like, I think everyone just like kind of likes him. So he's just like still there.
Yeah.
Because like, I think they just
never
enjoy
heard of that
him.
guy.
Me neither.
Unproblematic king.
You're just there. Just fully existing.
Yeah.
Shall we move on?
Yeah. New topic?
We need like a
gong. Gong.
Ding. I was gonna say we need like an explosion of like sound effect.
Yeah, we can add one.
Boom.
What should it be? Like a bomb? Just like gunshots.
Maybe like a burst of glitter or something, or like a slime. What's that stuff? Silly spray.
Yeah,
silly string.
I don't know if that's a sound, but
that classic sound.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on. This week for Not That Deep Soapbox, we're going to be talking about co-stars who, after being on-screen couples, then fell in love in real life and either dated or got married or whatever. But there are many examples, so I'm going to start by sharing just some of the main examples, but there are truly so many. Tom Holland and Zendaya, of course. Kit Harington and Rose Leslie. icons. Mila Kunis, Ashton Kutcher, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, Jennifer Goodwin and Josh Dallas, Emma Stone, Andrew Garfield, Kerry Russell, Matthew Rhys, Penn Badgley and Blake Lively, Robert Pattinson, Kristen Stewart, of course, Zac Efron, Vanessa Hudgens, Tom Hanks, Rita Wilson, Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, Penelope Cruz and Javier Bardem. There's many, many examples. Namely, and Joel wanted to bring this up, one of the most crazy pop culture stories of all time, which has to do with a on-screen love triangle in the Harry Potter franchise.
Yeah, is that how they met?
No.
But it happened during the course of the movies, right?
It happened before.
Okay.
So, for those who don't know, and we're going to be using the Harry Potter
pseudonyms.
I
don't know the boy's name.
I don't know his name either. But it's
Emma
Thompson and Helena Bonham Carter, who plays Bellatrix Lestrange, and then the actor who plays Gilderoy Lockhart was married to Emma Thompson. Mm-hmm. And he had cheated on her with Helena Bonham Carter. If you will, a real-life Love Actually situation. Listening to Joni Mitchell crying in your room, one of the saddest scenes of all time.
And if you've never seen Love Actually, Emma Thompson went on to play a woman who was married to Professor Snape. And in that movie, she finds out that Professor Snape is I don't even think he has even having an affair.
He has not closed the deal yet.
He bought a gift for his secretary.
Yeah.
And she found out.
Yeah.
And was crying.
Yeah.
And it's a really sad part of the movie.
Really sad. But anyways, that happened in real life, and it happened on the set of Harry Potter. Crazy. Okay. Before we get into the article, I want to ask Jewel, do you have a favorite on-screen couple that dated in real life?
I have two answers. I think my childhood answer is Art Pats and Kristen Stewart. Sure. Obviously, big twihard over here.
Huge twihard.
But I think, honestly, one of the main redeeming qualities of those movies is that the two of them genuinely have so much chemistry. You can tell they are actually into each other. So, yeah. They, of course, did not stay together. And it seems as though it's for the best. My other answer is Tom Holland and Zendaya because I think they're really cute and I love watching compilations of them in Spider-Man, doing Spider-Man press tour interviews, and they're just geeking.
Mm-hmm. They're having so much fun, yeah. For me, my favorite childhood one was, of course, Zac Efron and Vanessa Hudgens. Of course, Troy and Gabriella. My adult one is Kit Harington and Rose Leslie because I love them in Game of Thrones. And again, I feel the chemistry is less, romantic because they sort of an enemies to lovers situation. He is her hostage for most of their relationship.
Yes, she did, steal him.
She stole him, and then, yeah. The reason why this is top of mind for Julia and I is because of the Wuthering Heights press tour and whole situation. Do you want to explain what's going on for those who don't know?
Yeah, you should try to find the actual quote, but so Jacob Elordi and Margot Robbie, who are the stars of the new Wuthering Heights movie, are doing a weird thing where they're talking about how obsessed with each other they are, and Margot has said that she had a shrine to Jacob Elordi in her dressing room, and Edward, what's her name? The director? Edmund?
I don't know.
I feel like it's a girl, but her name's Edward. She's sort of fostering this codependent, sort of creepy off-screen relationship between them where she's giving them pictures of one another. If I'm Jacob and you're she's giving Jacob pictures of really hot pictures of Margot to have on hand, I guess. I don't know, doing weird stuff like that. And they're talking a lot about it. I imagine it's just part of the thing.
The marketing. Yeah.
I have something to say about it though.
Yeah.
I don't buy it.
You don't buy it?
No.
You think it's just for the...
I think it's marketing.
For the press tour?
Yeah.
Could be. We've seen it be effective, for example, with Anyone But You. Remember that whole thing with Sydney Sweeney and...
But I believed it more with them.
I don't know. I mean,
And
Margot Robbie is married.
And I don't think it's because I think Glenn Powell and Sydney Sweeney are better actors. I certainly do not think that. I think that Jacob and Margot are very, very talented.
Clearly better,
which is why I'm like, I don't know, I just think they're acting.
Yeah. I think what's suspicious about it is now how many things have come out. Like, the shrine thing. Yeah. They have, like, matching, like, promise rings.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
They're doing just, like, all of these very sexual photo shoots that are just, like, being plastered all over the magazines and Instagram ads and stuff like that. And, like, it definitely is part of the marketing thing. But still, I'm just like, where do you draw the line between, like, this is, like, overstepping the bounds of, like, what's appropriate?
The promise rings to me, like, if I was ever playing, like, a really iconic literary role in, you know, there's not been that many versions of Wuthering, you know, there's only been like a handful ever made. And so if I was playing like an iconic literary character, you'll always have that bond.
I mean, another example of this phenomenon is Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande.
Yeah.
It was not, like, sexual, but, like, it was definitely blurring the lines of, like, inappropriate, like,
emotional
coworker relationship. They have matching tattoos.
Yeah.
But again, like, if you're a theater kid, playing Glinda or Elphaba is sort of, like, the pinnacle theater kid achievement. But, like, they were also, like, definitely really intense with each other and their press tour. I mean, it was memed to death because it was hilarious, but, like...
I see what you're saying about, like, what's an appropriate relationship. And have you ever seen the interview where it's during this is from, like, 25 years ago-ish. Britney Spears was dating Justin Timberlake at the time.
Okay.
And she was in some movie. I don't even remember what movie. And it was, like, an era when all pop culture journalism was extremely sexist and inappropriate. And people are like, what does Justin think about you kissing whoever on screen? And she goes, it's a movie. I was acting. You're a grown-up. You should know that.
Icon.
I know to find it.
Yes, he saw it and he liked it.
And was he a bit jealous? Seeing you kissing with another boy?
No, it's just a movie. It's pretend. You're an adult. You should know that.
Iconic. Yeah. Iconic.
That's not what's happening these days.
No.
Like, no one's asking Jacob and Margot, is your chemistry real? It's just, they want us to think that it is so that we go see the movie.
They want us two dummies to be talking on their podcast about the topic.
Are they or are they not?
Yeah. Boning. That kind of brought us into this article that Julie and I both read from a publication called The Eye Paper by somebody named Eleanor Peake.
Prestigious publication.
I think it's a UK magazine,
okay.
But the name of the article is Why Hollywood Actors Can't Stop Falling in Love with Their Co-Stars. And they kind of get into the psychology behind it, and they give, like, more examples. Ryan Gosling and Rachel McAdams, Johnny Depp and Winona Ryder, Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton, Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes, like, Emma Stone and Andrew Garfield. So many.
All the Spider-Mans have
Jennifer
dated.
Garner and Ben Affleck and J-Lo, Ben Affleck and Matt Damon. But they sort of talk about what's happening, and they talk about the psychology, and there was a study done at George Mason University that talk about when actors are preparing for a role, like, they basically are, like, mentally rearranging their mental state to fit the character that they're playing. And this is a quote from the study. It said, they're putting their bodies and words into positions and interactions that are fictional, but their bodies and actions mimic reality. So it may be that actors are reading fictional behaviors as real and therefore following suit with their emotions. Similarly, actors are also trained to be open and emotionally intelligent in order to play a variety of characters. They may be more likely to open to the possibility of emotional connections with others who are also emotionally intelligent and open. It's well known in the industry, and it's referred to as a mild form of possession. While it's extremely common, it's still viewed as an occupational hazard for some directors.
I feel as though that's presupposing that all actors are method.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is true.
No.
But I do think you are definitely getting in a headspace of a certain character. So I imagine you're definitely more vulnerable, and I imagine that you might feel confused.
Yeah.
But I also think they, like, a lot of times they do, like, chemistry screenings for these people. So, like, I think, like, if you're getting cast, it's because you and this other person naturally have some sort of vibe.
Especially in a role that is, like, romantic.
Yeah.
Or, like, in Wicked, or a role where the entire point is that these two people have some type of best friendship.
Yeah.
This like intangible connection with each other that makes no sense because they're so different. It would make sense that you would have to make sure that the people that are playing them like really get along with each other. What comes to mind for me is like, what is the difference between? I know maybe I'm just not an actor, but I'm like, what is the difference between that and being like a regular and a coworker? And like, you see like examples of people like having affairs with coworkers and falling in love with people, meeting each other at work and all this stuff. And the reason why is because like many things, I think. But if you meet someone in work, you have a baseline number of things in common.
Sure.
Oftentimes you're like similar, you have similar educations, you're interested in sort of similar things, you're good at certain similar things. And you're seeing those people like show up in the best way, in the best version of themselves. They're dressed up, they look nice, they're presenting on a meeting, being nice, like doing all the things, being smart, showing their work or whatever. You're not seeing sort of like the underbelly of what it's like to be in a relationship where like it's mostly just boring. You see that person in all angles and all lights. You see the good, the bad, and the ugly. And not this like glamorized work version of them. And I feel like it's just the same as that. I feel like it's like you're at work, you're fictionally pretending to be in love with this person. You see them doing the thing that they love, that they're good at. You're doing the thing that you love, that you're good at. And yeah, I think it's sort of similar to that because again, not every actor is a method actor, so it's not like they're mentally changing their brain psychology to play anyone but you with Glenn Powell.
Yeah, I don't think there was that much like character development going on into Glenn Powell's character.
Sydney Sweeney's method. Sydney Sweeney, damn, that's crazy. That's my Sydney Sweeney impersonation.
That's crazy.
Wow, that's literally crazy.
Stop.
Anyways.
Yeah, I agree. I also think like, yeah, I just could never be an actor. Honestly, to be honest, I think the only way I ever could be an actor is if I went full method and was just like acting like a totally different person in my day-to-day and like pretended to be someone else.
Yeah.
So that I could like do the thing. As opposed to like just being myself and then like action.
Yeah.
You know.
Not to bring it back to Traitors, but Rob says that's his method. Like, of why he's good at it.
Faithful.
He's method faithful.
Yeah.
Like, that's why he's like, I honestly just tell myself that I am a faithful. And, like, I'm pretending like I am talking to myself as if I'm a faithful.
Yeah.
So he's sort of going that route.
Yeah. Have you seen Kristen Stewart's interview where she's talking about why women are not method and why it's only men?
Yeah.
It's unrelated to this. I'm not going to talk about it, but I do think it's interesting.
It is interesting.
Something that I do think is related that is a topic for a different day because I think it's a bigger topic is just around how all movies nowadays have to have some sort of experiential, almost like
immersive.
Yeah, what's it called when you think you know a celebrity but they don't? Parasocial. Like a parasocial, community-based movie PR.
Yeah.
Like where, like, I mean, I'm the biggest victim of this, where I'm, like, tuning in to see all of the looks of, like, Galinda, like, you know what I mean? Like, they want you to feel so bought in to not just seeing the movie, but also, like, the actors who are playing them and, like, their relationship with each other and, like, even, like, heated rivalry. Like, people are not just obsessed with the show. They're also obsessed with the people who play the characters and their relationship with each other off screen.
Yeah.
So it's this whole thing where like, they're not just selling the product, they're also selling the ingredients that go into it, and, like, the whole, like, and, like, a community of other fans.
Yeah, I think people are very desperate for community, number one. I think post-COVID, that's, like, a big thing. I also think, like, not to get into, like, the depths of it, because I think we'll do a Not That Deep soapbox about this topic separately, but, like, in marketing, like, that's a thing. It's like multi-touch. Like, you have to touch touch them, like, get contact with them in many ways. And, like, I'm talking B2B tech sales, so, like, it's not the same as, like, an immersive, like, thing. But that's like the future of marketing across the board. People aren't going to just buy something because they see a picture of it online once.
Yeah.
They see a picture of it online, and the influencer that they follow just posted something about it. And they went to the mall, and they're doing a partnership with Poppy.
And it's a part of this, like, larger, like, coquette trend.
Yes.
That, like, everyone on the internet is partaking in different ways.
Yeah. And that's across the board. And, like, it's a big thing in marketing. The Wuthering Heights example, it's like, maybe somebody makes the decision to see this in theaters, not because they have any interest in classic literature, not because they have any interest in the story or the, you know, like, actual movie of it all, but because, wow, Margot Robbie looks so good. I keep seeing pictures of her press tour.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I heard her and Jacob Elordi are, like, together, like, we should go see it and, like, see what's gonna happen.
Oh, I'm, like, a huge Charlie XCX fan. Like, she did the soundtrack for this, and I want to hear the soundtrack, so I'm gonna go see the movie.
Yeah. Coming out of Brat Summer, it's so immersive, and, like, it's so subconscious. They're hitting you at all times of the day.
It's working.
Everywhere you look, and it's effective. And, yeah, it's crazy. Anyways.
No, I agree. And we can maybe talk about that. I feel like there's probably more articles to be read on that topic. Did you see my post on our Instagram where I said that the Wuthering Heights premiere is going to be, like, the Endgame?
Yes, that's what I'm
really?
saying.
Wasn't Margot Robbie saying that during the premiere or, like, one of the early showings or whatever, people were, like, screaming and, like, hooting and hollering?
She said, like, her friends were, like, tearing their clothes off watching it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Like, what is this movie going to be like? It's like, she was painting a picture of everyone just, like, going feral.
Yeah, a full-blown,
like,
a full-blown carnal, like, we reverted back to, like, Neanderthals during this movie.
I know, I can't wait to see.
I can't wait to partake in some sort of group
disassociation.
Anyways. So that's the Not That Deep soapbox for this week, and we'll have to circle back on that other topic another time, but crazy stuff.
Yeah. All right, last topic is the Olympics.
The Olympics.
The Olympics. So I have to talk about, I already did a TikTok about this, but leading up to the Olympics, and post Heated Rivalry, I was really craving some additional, like, skating-based YA romance. And so I watched 3 different shows on the topic. The first one that got me really in the spirit is, what is it called? It's called Finding Her Edge. And I will preface this by saying, basically all of these shows have the same plot, which is that they were at one point a really talented figure skater, and then something happened. They haven't been skating, and they're trying to get back in the rink and, like, find themselves. I think most of them are all, like, ice dancing. I think all of the ones I've watched were ice dancing related. So they are looking for a pair, basically. And yeah, they're just, like, trying to get back on the ice. And I think I do have a theory that unless one of you is gay, you must fall in love.
Sure. Oh, 100%.
Which I think ties into the acting piece of it all, because they are acting. But, like, where do you draw that line? And they're, like, all they do is figure skate. They spend all their time with these people.
Right. It's the
Tessa and Scott.
The Tessa and Scott.
I believe that's their names.
Tessa Virtue and Scott Moir. They were totally in love.
Yeah, but they're married to other people.
I know, but they have, like, the most chemistry I've ever seen 2 people have. Ever.
So that is, like, some of the lore of these shows is, like, sort of, like, assessing chemistry and, like, finding the right partner. And a lot of these people, like, you start skating with your partner when you're teenagers. And so there's, like, you have a very, very close connection with these people. And yeah, it just got me so excited for the Olympics. And there's a lot of ice dancing lore going into this Olympics. The U.S., But that's the tease. Like, these people are in their mid to late 30s at this point who are all, like, vying for gold. So this is kind of like, but they haven't said this, but, like, this is potentially their last ever Olympics. And they've, like, I think the people who are sort of in place to win gold this year, the favorites, Madison Chalk and Evan Bates, who are the American team, married. And they, like, I think Evan has been in, like, 6 Olympics.
Dang.
Like, these people are not young.
This is, like, their full-time job.
Yeah. They've been doing this for 25 years.
Wow.
Truly. Never done anything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just very interesting, like, the whole community. And I don't know how much of these shows is real, but, like, they don't go to regular school. They go to, like, figure skating. Like, they're homeschooled, essentially, tutored, or they go to, like, an academy full of other figure skaters. So, like, all of these ice dancers that are competing against one another, they all live in Montreal together. Like, none of them are, like, anywhere else besides Canada, pretty much. And they all train together. It's very incestuous, like, especially when they were teenagers, they all skated with each other at some point in time. And they've known each other for, like, their whole careers because they've come up together. So there's just a lot of good tea around the topic. So I recommend these silly shows because it's less real and they're just fun. So that was the one, was Finding Her Edge. I liked that one. There's another one called Spinning Out, which stars the girl.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, that stars the girl from Maze Runner.
Okay.
And one of my favorite cameos in that one is Johnny Weir plays a teenager. This movie came out in 2020.
Wow.
Or show came out in 2020. Johnny Weir is, I believe, like 43. so he was like 36 or whatever, playing a teenager. And it's kind of effective. But anyway, I like that one. And then the one I just started, actually, is called Zero Chill. And that one is both hockey and figure skating. It's a brother-sister, and he plays hockey and she figure skates.
And they fall in love.
They fall in love.
And they were roommates.
But yeah, I said this on my TikTok that, like, 200 people saw. But there's also a documentary on Netflix right now called, it's like Glitter and Gold, like The Pathway to Olympics or something like that. And it's about the, like, 3 teams that are, like, vying for the gold medal. So this will come out after the Olympics, I think, or, like, after they've already had the championship, but it's still worth, like, the backstory, I guess.
Yeah, the lore.
But yeah, really enjoyed that.
It makes me think of somebody left a comment. If you're listening to this, by the way, hey. But somebody left a comment on our video that we posted on Instagram last week where we talk about how we were surprised that nobody knew Tara Lipinski and Johnny Weir on Traitors. And the person commented and was like, of course nobody knows them. Nobody watches the Olympics anymore. I personally stopped because you can't binge all the episodes. And I was like, you can't binge the Olympics. That would be like 10,000 hours of content.
Yeah, also imagine being like, nobody watches the NFL because you can't binge it.
Like,
that's just not true.
What, you're going to sit down and watch the Olympics for like 10 days straight?
Yeah,
watching
you, like,
every event? Yeah. I'm like, I don't really think you're understanding the concept of this, but
no.
Yeah. One thing I've been enjoying is watching all of the outfits and the different countries. Their uniforms that they get and the merch and like I watched the opening ceremony, so like the procession and stuff like that. And there were some countries that really stood out. But I just also want to give a quick shout out to the girls who were holding the country signs.
Oh, yeah.
Because they are in these, like, silver
igloos.
puffer igloos. And I was watching it with a friend, and I said those outfits would have done numbers on Project Runway for a
recycle, like when they would use like recycled materials.
Yeah, like that's made out of like AC vents or something like that. And she was like, no, it's not giving Project Runway. It's giving the scene in Lizzie McGuire movie where she's in the igloo and it's like a blow up thing during
I had that same thought.
The scene where she's, getting styled.
Girl, cover girl,
second girl, give it a twirl, do your thing on the runway. Oh. So I was enjoying that. I feel like Haiti has been getting a lot of love for their
yes.
puffer dress, which it was awesome. I loved this is again another random one, but the people that are handing out the medals, they're in like these structured.
I haven't even seen those.
These like structural. I'll show you a picture. Milan said, "Guys, don't forget we're the fashion capital of the world."
Yeah.
I like the Lululemon Canada ones.
I love the Canada one. I feel like that's a hot take, but I like them a lot.
Wait, I really like them.
like the poncho with the leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought that was so cool.
I don't know why I did that.
I didn't know Lululemon was a Canadian company either until
Yeah.
this. So I feel like there was a lot of good, like there's some good like fashion moments coming out of it as well. I like the US's one.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
always like very classic.
Very classic.
Americana.
Yeah.
Ralph Lauren.
Ralph Lauren, red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
If that's your thing,
Sure.
So yeah. So the Beck's record this week, watch the Olympics.
Yeah.
Or if the Olympics are already over, don't.
Yeah, it's sort of an interesting time for our country, but you can still support the athletes.
I love Americans, and I love seeing all the diversity, and like that is our strength as a country, and I love seeing that like put on the world stage because it just shows like that is when we're at our strongest, is when we're embracing all of the diversity in our country and stuff like that. So it's like, even though I hate that stuff, I still love that, showing that to the world, and that like we have this great sort of melting pot. But yeah. Also, looking forward to the Bad Bunny Super Bowl. And yeah.
Sí se puede.
Thank you guys for listening. If you've made it to the end, be sure to leave a comment and tell us what's your favorite Olympic event, winter or
yes.
summer. Leave a comment with that. And like or give us a rating or anything like that would be greatly appreciated.
But only if it's 5.
Only if it's a good one.
Yeah. And I'll comment if it's nice.
Comment if it's nice. And follow us on social media because we're always posting on there as well. And thanks for listening.
Yeah.
See you next time.